Welcome back. So we've got one more blustery day around here, but that's okay. Look at the beauty. I've said it before, I'll say it again, just absolutely gorgeous. Right, Sadie? So you having a good time? I'm sure you are. So let's continue our reading from Sadie's book, Saving Sadie, How a Dog That No One Wanted, and believe me, no one wanted her. Not in the shape not in the shape she was in. How a dog no one wanted inspired the world. Dobie's show was a blast. Again, an hour passed so quickly, and we found that Dobie is a real showman, a natural entertainer, and a genuinely nice man who was so kind, warm, and funny, allowing us to tell Sadie's story and really connect with his audience of devoted listeners. The news got even better 2 days later when Dobie featured Sadie in his Dobie Maxwell's Dented Can Diary, a blog column he regularly wrote for onmilwaukee.com, Milwaukee's biggest and best online digital magazine. The blog post was titled, Sadie Steals the Show. It was amazing. And after providing a bit of Sadie's backstory, Dobie wrote, Sadie was pure magic and made everyone feel great. She has a very tangible vibe that radiates from her at all times. You think so? Yes, yes, yes. And she was the undisputed star of the evening from the instant she got out of the car and limped up to the door. Wow, holy mackerel, of the radio station. Sadie, I shouted to her as I read the computer screen in my study. Dobie says you were the undisputed star of the evening. She smiled and wagged her tail. She smiled and wagged her tail. I continued reading in earnest. Seeing her in person and feeling her wonderful energy was one of the most inspiring moments I think I've ever had. Dobie's article continued. She will be an inspiration to all who see her. Normally, I would have squealed with delight at reading those words, but my throat was too clogged with tears for me to even utter a sound. What a beautiful article and a beautiful tribute. I spent so much time with Sadie on a daily basis, 24/7, that when I wasn't at work, and that sometimes I felt that I developed a type of tunnel vision when it came to Sadie. Of course, to me, Sadie was beautiful and wonderful and remarkable and inspirational. Excuse me, but I was her mom, and I loved her. What are you snapping at, Boo-Boo? What are you looking at, Boo-Boo? Huh? Huh? What are you doing? The leaves are really getting to you, huh? Yeah. Okay, let's see. And I was her mom, and I loved her, so my opinion was not exactly objective. Maybe other people saw her just as an ordinary dog, or worse, a disabled dog with a multitude of special needs. A dog who sucked up lots of valuable resources and had nothing meaningful to offer in return. But when I read an article like Dobie's, or saw some of the hope-filled and inspiring messages posted on Sadie's Facebook page, or watched the way Sadie interacted with special needs people like Noah from Acres of Hope and Inspirations, or the other place, all my doubts and fears and reservations disappeared. Other people were able to feel and experience and be moved by Sadie's magic. They only had to be willing to open up their eyes and their hearts wide enough to do so. Thank you again for joining us. We so appreciate you being here before we get blown away today. Amazing. Thank you so much again, and we will see you for the next reading of Saving Sadie, How a Dog No One Wanted Inspired the World. Available everywhere books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Sam's Club, Walmart, you name it, they have it. So go to savingsadie.com, make your selection there where you'd like to buy it, and it has a happy ending. You will absolutely love it. Okay? Thank you so much again. SavingSadie.com. Have a great day. Hi everybody, welcome to our reading again. Went into the gazebo. It's a little bit inclement out there, but it's fall. What do you expect? The wind is whipping up, and it's been like this on a consistent basis. But again, going outside, it's absolutely gorgeous. Leaves are falling like crazy right now. So this is about taking Sadie sledding. Sadie absolutely loved riding fast on her sled. Her tongue wagged, her eyes glowed, and her whole body seemed to vibrate with life, energy, and excitement. I had never before seen her so fully engaged. It was like she's smiling whenever she goes sledding, so fully interested in anything. Then I realized that Sadie must love this feeling so much because it reminded her of what it felt like to run and to go fast. She wasn't born this way. She wasn't born all hobbled, hopping, and reduced to dragging herself across the floor. I had only known her in this diminished state. You're so cute. But she had had an entire life before I met her, a life where she was tall and straight and strong, a muscular hunting dog with powerful legs that propelled her forward from a slow trot to a lopping gallop to a flat-out run, racing through the rough Appalachian hills of her home, sniffing out pheasants and badgers and fleet-footed hare. That memory still lived somewhere deep inside her, like a dormant muscle just beginning to get exercised. A tiny flame, always flickering, waiting for someone to throw open the doors and let oxygen rush in, whipping that nascent flame back to full, glorious, blazing light. We were both exhausted, invigorated, but also spent. As I pulled her in the sled back to the parking lot and popped open the hatch on my SUV, I lifted Sadie from her sled, right? Did I have to do that? Yeah, you had so much fun there, didn't you? And placed her inside. Then I jumped in and sat beside her with my legs dangling over the edge, knocking snow off my boots and rubbing my mittened hands for warmth. Our breath was visible, clouds wreathing our mouths as we watched, it really was, and we watched the sun dip tipping toward its early post-solstice descent into darkness. I mean, what an amazing, amazing time. You're going to see her sled again. She does this every single winter, and she just loves sledding so much. She does remember what it's like to go fast, and that is such a way for her to remember that. I mean, you try to figure out how to do this with a dog, because she certainly won't use any wheels or anything like that. We got into that in one of the other chapters. So again, we thank you so much for staying here with us and for reading with us. And join us again for another reading from Saving Sadie, How a Dog No One Wanted Inspired the World. Available everywhere. All right. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. SavingSadie.com. Welcome back to our summer, now fall series of our reading of our book, Saving Sadie, How a Dog No One Wanted Inspired the World. And we continue. Developing a relationship with an animal, whether a dog, cat, or horse, or other creature, is a lot like developing a relationship with a human being. The more time you spend together, the closer you become. Sadie knows that, right? Do you know that? I think you do. Yes, you do. So, and the more you begin to understand each other's thoughts, fears, hopes, and dreams. What do you see over there? What's over there? Something interesting, Sadie? Beautiful day out here today, folks. And the more you understand each other's thoughts, fears, hopes, and dreams, and the more you can feel what each other is feeling. It's like you share a single mind, heart, and soul, and can access each other's thoughts and emotions, even learning to anticipate how the other will react in certain situations. You look like you're catatonic today, Sadie. Are you dogatonic? Are you dogatonic? No, that's not my Sadie. No, she's just being silly today. Certainly, Sadie and I had developed an especially close physical and emotional bond in the 9 months I had adopted her, and yet I still had many unanswered questions. I knew without a doubt that Sadie loved me. She showed me that every single day. My questions centered more around Sadie's past, her memories, good and bad, and how she coped with processing the trauma she had endured. I so wish she could tell me about what had happened to her in those harsh Appalachian hills, even though I knew that hearing the whole story would undoubtedly break my heart. I often suspected that Sadie may have been shot by a man wearing a hat. Sadie loved everyone. To her, every stranger was simply a friend she hadn't met yet. That's all true, and she's met plenty of people. So, let's see. When she saw a man in a baseball cap, she would bark a fierce, angry, violent bark. Just like that. Whoop! Whoop! Would you say that? Whoop! Sadie, would you bark like that? Whoop! Oh, I think you would. Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, she wants to nuzzle? Oh, come over here. Come over here and be with your mother so she can read. Come on over here with your mother. Got it? Okay, perfect. All right, now where were we? Let's find our place again. Let's see. I often suspected that Sadie may have been shot by a man wearing a hat. Sadie loved everyone. To her, every stranger was simply a friend she hadn't met yet. The only time she ever reacted strangely and seemed upset was when she was around a man in a baseball cap. She would bark a fierce, angry, violent bark. That was my Sadie, a dog who never normally barked at all. So I knew she was reacting to something that I couldn't see or understand. It's okay, girl. Don't worry. I would console her, holding her close. Try not to think about that. The bad men are far away, and no one will ever hurt you again. I will protect you, I promise. To this day, I promise that no one is ever going to bother you ever again. And with that, our reading continues. Join us again twice weekly for a reading of our book, available in English and Spanish, available at Amazon or anywhere books are sold. We will see you again. Thanks for joining us.